Hi and welcome to the second part of our 10-part series on how to use your camera. My name's Matt and I'm going to be showing you all of your camera's key settings so that you can start taking pictures straight away. Today we'll be looking at your camera's mode dial. I'll explain what all the different icons mean so that you know which to use in a given situation. Most mode dials contain options defined by letters and icons. Generally speaking, the icons leave all the control to the camera, while the letters give you some degree of control over the camera's settings. The icons are commonly referred to as scene modes, as these represent the situations in which they would be appropriate to use. So, turning the dial to the icon of a person's face will program the camera to capture an image at settings designed for portraiture, while moving it to the icon of mountains will do the same for landscapes. Most mode dials provide 5 further options. On the auto mode, all the control will be left to the camera, so you don't need to worry about anything. More recent cameras call this Intelligent Auto or Scene Intelligent Auto. These recognise the scene and set the camera to the most appropriate settings. This is a great mode to use if you're not sure what settings you should be using. The Program mode is usually shown by the letter P. This is similar to the Auto mode in that the camera chooses the settings for you, although you'll often have the option to override these. You'll also have more control over things like flash than in the Auto mode. This is a good mode to use for general purpose shooting, when you want to have some control over the settings but leave most to the camera. The shutter priority mode is often shown by the icon TV. This lets you set the shutter speed of the camera, which is the duration that the shutter is open and letting in light. Slower shutter speeds are great for blurring movement, while fast ones are useful for capturing moving subjects sharply. So, you could use a shutter speed of 3 or 5 seconds to capture a waterfall, or a thousandth of a second to capture someone playing sports. As you change the shutter speed, the aperture changes, again to maintain a correct exposure. Next up, we have aperture priority, usually shown as AV on the mode dial. This mode allows you to select the aperture of the lens, which is the size of the opening inside it which lets in light. This allows you to get creative. Generally speaking, the lower the aperture number, the less depth of field there will be in the scene, which is the extent to which certain parts of your scene are in focus. So, you can use a low number, such as f2.8 or f4 for a portrait, as this will give you a nice blurred background. Similarly, using a higher number, such as f11 or f16, is great for landscapes, where you want to get everything from the foreground to the distance in focus. As you change the aperture, the shutter speed automatically changes to maintain a correct exposure. Finally, you have the manual mode, which is selected by the M on the mode dial. This allows you to control both the aperture and the shutter speed, so you can override what the camera thinks is the correct exposure. This is great for maximum control, although you do have to be sure that the two settings together provide a good exposure by making sure the marker in the viewfinder or on your display is at 0. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Next time we'll be having a look at your camera's aperture priority mode. For more tips and advice, visit us on Facebook, Twitter or Google+, or check out wexphotographic.com/blog.